What's up, y'all? My name is Keegan Hanks. This channel is all about my journey of going from bodybuilder back into being an elite level runner. So I trained 8 years ago as a Division I track and field athlete, specializing in the 800 and the mile. And this is my journey of getting back into running form and hopefully beating my times that I had while running track and field in college. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button below so you can stay up to date with all of the videos coming out. Today, I want to talk about the top 5 challenges that I've had getting back into running up to this point. So I've been running consistently 4 to 5 days a week for the last, I think, 2 months. And it's been a lot of good, it's been a lot of challenging, and there's been some really ugly things that I'm trying to get over, and today's video is all about me talking about those things and being very real with the challenges. Someone who's been fit before in running. Today's video is all about becoming a faster runner and the challenges that come along with that, especially starting from zero. So for me, I have been fit before. I know what it feels like, yet I'm struggling with not being fit, as one would expect. You know where you have been in the past, and it's not where you are now, and it's a little frustrating. It hits the ego a lot. So I am battling myself specifically with that ego, and that's the number one thing that I'm struggling with, is the ego aspect of it. Running slow enough, which is number 2, is challenging myself to run slow enough to where it is an effective training. A common thing for newbies and people just getting into running is going too fast for too long. Yes, you want to be fast, and yes, you want to run hard, but that's not going to be all of your training. If you're running too hard too often, you're going to increase your risks of injury. You're going to not really get faster. You're going to stay that same speed continually, and it's going to be a lot harder on your joints and on your body. So what running does, if you think of training like a pyramid, you want a really wide, strong base in order to start to build up to that peak being the speed and getting faster as a runner. If you don't have enough of this base, you're not going to be able to build up your speed well enough to be able to support yourself. So the general rule of thumb is an 80-20 rule of training. So 80% of your training is going to be on that easier side. Below threshold is generally that line. And then 20% is above that. So that's speed intervals, that's hills, things like that are going to be in that 20% line. And then the rest of it is going to be very easy mileage. And why my ego has been hit is I'm constantly seeing older women pass me, women, just old men, a lot of people that as a 27-year-old relatively fit guy should not be running faster than me, but I have to constantly remind myself that my training is for a specific purpose. I am trying to get faster in the mile and the 800 meter specifically, and running at these certain paces is not serving me. And the other thing that goes with going slow enough is because I am so out of shape cardiovascularly, yes, I can run longer, but the thing is my heart rate is going to just spike eventually. I'll be able to run 20-30 minutes at the set pace and be relatively all right with my heart rate, and then all of a sudden it's going to spike and it's not going to want to come down. And when you have that heart rate spike, you're going to start going into that 20%, which isn't going to be doing what you want it to do. So what my coach will have me do is run 3 to 5 minutes and then walk for a minute, and run 3 to 5 minutes and walk for a minute. It has worked for me really well, but again, it is challenging that ego. I have gotten progressively faster and a lot more comfortable going at those slow paces. And then third one is getting tired easily. Like, yeah, I'm able to run these faster paces. Like, I can push myself to run a 7-minute mile, but after that 7-minute mile, I'm not doing another 7-minute mile. I had a workout a few weeks ago where I was supposed to do repeat miles and keep it around that 7:30 minute pace. And the first mile hit 7:06 strong, and then did my recovery, came back, and the next mile was like an 8:45, which obviously is not adequate or even in that realm of 7:30. You'd like to keep them pretty consistent because you're training specific thresholds and you're training specific paces. So ideally, I would push that back to 8 minutes and hopefully keep 8 minutes for both the first and second mile repeats. That comes with getting more confident and more comfortable with pacing, and that's kind of what I would call like running memory, is you will start to learn set paces and set efforts that you can maintain for certain amounts of time or for a certain number of repetitions. The other thing is I am about 40 or 50 pounds heavier than when I was competing in track and field. So right now I'm 205. When I started this, I was like 208. And when I was competitively running, I was like 150 to 160 pounds, somewhere in there. That's a lot of extra weight going through my joints. And these joints have not, and these tendons have not been built up to withstand all of that force and pressure from me constantly doing this repetitive motion. Running is a high impact sport. Not like you're colliding with other people, but there is constant, huge amounts of pressure coming back up through your leg each and every stride. Research has said that it's about 2.5 to 3 times your body weight every single step. And the heavier you are, the more exponential that weight is. So a 200-pound athlete, every single time I strike, that's about 600 pounds going back up through my body, which is a lot of wear and tear. So not saying as a heavier person, someone even heavier than me, that you shouldn't run or get into running, because it is something that you can work on and improve, but you may want to add in a little bit more cross training, like cycling or swimming, to where you're still building that cardiovascular engine, but it's putting a lot less wear and tear on your knees and feet and ankles. Some stuff that has helped me recover adequately for training is using a Normatec Go. This is probably my favorite piece of equipment that I've bought recently. It is these little, essentially like heart rate cuffs. It inflates with air, and there's multiple different pockets that it has. So it'll have like 4 different pockets, and it'll inflate at the bottom and then move up, kind of like moving blood through your leg, like how you would roll out a toothpaste. I have found this to be tremendously helpful in getting my legs back into running shape quickly. So whenever I have a long run or pretty much any run, I'll just sit at my computer, play a video game, and then have those things just go off for an hour. The other thing is I got an ice bath, and I put an ice bath out on my porch. That's something I do less often just because it is so hot in Austin. It gets very challenging to cool the ice bath down enough, and just buying $20-$30 of ice every single day is just not really reasonable for me. And the last thing that I'm really struggling with, or have struggled with in the past, is the mentality shift of being really good at endurance sports. The body type that works for endurance sports and the body type that I've been training for the last 8 years are vastly different. The muscle that I put on over the last 8 years is not really conducive to being a high-level endurance athlete. Not that the muscle is going to be bad for me. Having more muscle generally means you're less injury prone and you're faster and more powerful in your running. Like sprinters are generally pretty muscular, but there is a limit to how effective that can be. And that's why you don't see bodybuilders who have a really low body fat being fast runners. So what I need to do, and a big focus of mine right now, is really cutting my weight down, ideally mostly focusing on body fat. I'm sitting around 18 to 17%, somewhere in there at 205 pounds. And I'd like to get down to like 9 or 10% to be really competitive in running. So that's going to be somewhere around that 180 to 185. So I got a lot to lose. I got 20 pounds of weight to lose. And the next video is all going to be about what I'm doing to both fuel my performance while also cutting weight and losing weight safely and effectively. Because it doesn't make sense to be leaner and to be smaller if you're not running faster. Like, it's got to serve that goal of ultimately being faster. Something that has helped me and was an immediate consideration to me was hiring a coach. I think no matter who you are, hiring a coach is 100% going to be beneficial. Something that one of my clients told me once and has really stuck with me is you can either learn a lesson through time or you can learn a lesson through money. Make your choice however you want to, but I would rather pay someone who is educated, who already knows all of the information I need to give me what I need to be able to do it most effectively and efficiently. Because I already have so many other things going on in my life, I can always work more to afford my coach. I can't always get more time to learn more about running. My coach has been training for 15 plus years. I'm not going to get that much education and wisdom in the time frame that I would be adequately running. Like in 15 years, I'm not going to be as competitive as I am now. So hiring a coach, I think, is so beneficial. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure you hit that like button. It really helps the channel get found and help other people get back into running or start running and focus on performance. Because ultimately that is what this channel is all about, getting faster and getting better at running. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'll see you guys in the next one.